All right, so yeah, I had some technical difficulties there, but we're back. So the second quarter will be underway momentarily, and it will be in Indiana. It'll be Indiana football. They'll be kicking a field goal. That is how it'll go here. Yeah, Indiana's going to kick a field goal to start the second quarter. That's how it's going to be. They're going to go out. They're going to kick a field goal, and that'll probably be the first points of the game. Nicholas Rajic, one of the better kickers in college football, will get his opportunity to line one up and knock one through. So there you go. I mean, Indiana, they were a little conservative. They had some trouble getting that last playoff. Then they just ended up having to run that straight up into the teeth of the Alabama defense. It didn't really do go over too well. But if you're Indiana, like that was a good first quarter. Look, you established a lot. I think that as the game goes on, I think they're gonna give Mendoza more reign to get the football down the field and push it more down the field. I think that's really what they're gonna end up doing. But so far, so good for Indiana, right? Like they're showing that they are like they've been pretty much the more physical football team in this game, which is obviously really good, right? Like Indiana, you want to see Indiana be super physical. You want to see Indiana be um, really good. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, Indiana, that again, that was a pretty good first quarter. Like they like to have obviously gotten 7 out of that drive. I mean, they started at their own 3 yard line though, and were able to get it to a point where they were at least like they're gonna get points out of this drive most likely as long as they make the field goal. So can't be too mad about that. So Indiana defense will be back out in the field here in a moment, but first they got to go kick this field goal. Um, Again, just it's been an amazing season for Indiana. I think the whole college football world has been extremely impressed with them and what they've accomplished. Because yeah, they've been so impressive this year, right? I mean, they're not only in the playoffs for the second year in a row, but like they're now the freaking number one team in the country. Like they're a legit contender for this national championship. Kurt Signetti again, what an incredible job he's done building up that program to where it's at today. 2 years there, and he's already turned it around. They're going to be a very dangerous program for a very long time under Signetti. They just got to keep portaling in some really good players. Recruiting. How's Indiana recruiting this year? Is my question. Like, how's their Indiana Hoosiers recruits? Like, I feel like they got to be like they recruit obviously well in basketball. That's the first thing that popped up was basketball. Yeah, they still aren't really like pulling in too many recruits if we're being honest. Signetti does do most of that work in the portal, like last year. Radicic from 31 yards, right hash kick is up and it is good. And Indiana has taken the lead in the 2025 Rose Bowl. But now it's 2026, first day of 2026. Happy New Year's to everybody. Shout out to all y'all. Hope you guys are all doing great. Looking at Indiana's recruiting class last year, again, not too many like 20 recruits, solid players, but a ton of portal guys. I think that's a big thing that Signetti and his staff put a lot of emphasis on. And you see guys, Fernando Mendoza, transferred in from Cal. He's been a superstar. Roman Emby from Maryland, big time contributor. Um, let's see who else is here. Um, I saw like Devin Boykin. He's Stephen Daly. Like Indiana portals in very good talent, very underrated talent. You gotta start wondering if any of these other big time blue chipper transfers end up going to Indiana now. They start landing even bigger names. Because I remember hearing about Fernando Mendoza, and I was like, okay. I mean, I didn't really know much about Fernando Mendoza, if I'm being quite honest with you. But it is what it is. We shall see. Mm-mm-mm. But yeah. Mm-mm. But yeah, I love it though. This has been a good start. Indiana again. Oh, I haven't updated the score because I was looking at the recruiting class. Indiana goes up 3-0. So Alabama will get the football here in the second quarter. Signetti, again, the play calling's been very conservative from Indiana so far. Again, they're establishing that run game. I want to see them let Mendoza let it loose at some point. Let Fernando do what Fernando do at the end of the day. That's what he's the Heisman Trophy winner. But you want to Signetti's a guy who's going to trust his defense and let him do what they need to do. You try to neutralize Alabama any way possible. Because, again, Indiana wants to win that ground game and, control the tempo of this football game. And right now they have. They definitely controlled the tempo early on in this game. But there's a lot of football left to be played in this Rose Bowl. I watched some Indiana football this year. Again, as a Texas fan, SEC guy, I watched some Big Ten football here and there. Yeah, Indiana's defense. 10 points a lot against Illinois, 15 against Iowa. They held Oregon's high-powered offense to 20, although Oregon's offense didn't look too high-powered today. But Texas Tech's defense is... Man, Texas Tech's defense was incredible today. They lost 23-0, and it looks bad. It looks like it was a blowout, first of all. Dan Lanning ramped the score at the end of the game. And I was rooting for Oregon, but, he did. Dan Lanning do what Dan Lanning do. But also, look, Oregon, Texas Tech's defense was incredible. They were so amazing for 4 quarters. Their offense killed them completely. One of the biggest offensive letdowns. 0 complimentary football was played by Tech today. Their defense went out there and dominated, and it was embarrassing and really bad. But it is what it is. Their season's over, and now we'll see how many players they can buy in the offseason. So Alabama gets the football, and Signetti's defense, we saw him. 10 points allowed against Ohio State in the Big Ten Championship. Ohio State had a tough time last night. Again, we'll talk about some of these CFB games later. So Fernando Mendoza's having some issues with his comms right now in his helmet, so they're going to have to figure this out. 1st and 10 from the 25. Simpson at the 25, and handoff left side, and Indiana all over it. Their defensive line doing well even without their star, Stephen Daly. They are still all over this run game right now. Great tackle. It was Jones who came in, flying in on that left side, made the tackle in the backfield on Alabama. So Indiana's looking to be the first team ever in the 12-team college football in the 12-team era to win a game after having a first-round bye. As Riley just lost, he got back to the line of scrimmage there on that last run. 2nd and 10. They're at about the 25. Simpson. It's going to be another handoff up the middle and another stuff by Indiana. Hosea Wheeler with the tackle right there. So, Indiana's looking to make history today. They made history a lot, and Jones and Wheeler just were all over that play right there. Great tackling. If y'all are listening, be sure to click the subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. But look at it. It truly is. It's been a disadvantage for the teams, the 6 teams that have had the bye so far. 2 more to go. 3rd and 8 from the 26. Simpson audibling right now. Play clock down to 5. Simpson gets the snap off. 4-man rush. He is under pressure. Going to step up and run. It's not a big part of his game, but he's going to have the first down, I believe. We'll see. Okay, they're going to say that he is a little bit short. I was wondering if they were going to give him that spot. Maybe just went down a little early. They started it. He was pulled down. Knees down right there. Okay, where was the knee down? It was close. Knees down. It looks like, okay, he might be just a little bit short right here, which makes a decision for Kalen DeBoer and Alabama. Obviously, you want to be aggressive and go for these types of situations and trust that your offensive line can push forward. They're going to mark him about, half a yard short, maybe a yard short, and we have a stoppage. Is it going to be another Indiana timeout, I believe? Second timeout called in the half by Signetti. So Indiana down to 1 timeout with 12:44 to go, but he feels like this is an important moment in this game. Defense is out there, need to make a play. 4th down and 1. So I'm talking to I was talking about the That's crazy. That's a big timeout decision there. But at the end of the day, they did what they needed to do. They made their decision. Yeah, that's just yeah, they're the underdogs today. At the end of the day, they're the underdogs. They're going to have to, Indiana knows what they're up against. They're up against an Alabama team that, while they haven't been as good as recent years, they're still Alabama, right? Like, they still have the talent. DeBoer is a good coach. Signetti's defense is going to have to play their butts off as they always do. And I'm really excited to see how this game finishes off. But yeah, just talking about the CFP games that we've seen so far. Yeah, the bye week has just not been an advantage for anybody at all. It has not been an advantage for anybody that's had it. I mean, I think last year it was partially due to the fact that a couple of the teams that got byes were just far inferior in talent and record wise compared to the like last year they did it. They did the top four based on the top four conference champions were the teams that got the first round bye. So Arizona State, while they were a good team and they almost beat Texas, that's like a tough game right there for them. You know what I mean? That's not more of an indication on the bye because Arizona State played really well that game and came out swinging and firing. Not they didn't come out swinging in that game, but they played a really good game, right? And Boise State, they never probably were ever going to beat Penn State, for being real. So there's that. But Ohio State losing to Miami, and again, there's definitely a thing to it. Not playing football for a month is a really, really big thing. You know what I mean? But Indiana today has looked good so far, and again, they're going to look to be the first team in the 12-team era to win a playoff game after getting a first-round bye. It's a crazy stat, but here we go. So Alabama is going to motion back. There's a lot happening right now. Simpson's going to run up on 4th and 1. And Simpson, we'll see, changing the play. And I think Kalen DeBoer is just going to burn a timeout. Wow, what a job there by Alabama and Indiana. That was a chess match on that play. Great discipline from the Hoosiers. And Alabama, they kept Ty Simpson out there. And they were in a punt formation. It looked like they were just going to step back and punt. But then Ty Simpson stayed out there. And then they motioned everybody in. Simpson came under center. Looked like he was about to go QB sneak. And they just hard counted him. And eventually DeBoer forced to burn a timeout. Now Alabama's offense is back on the field. So it looks like DeBoer said enough of the games. Signetti's already called a timeout on this play. And now DeBoer did. And now it's finally time. Here we go. We finally line them up. And they're going to go for this 4th down and 1. On the offense is out there. Ty Simpson's ready to go. 4th and 1. Daniel Hill in the Wildcat. And it's going to be a toss to Bernard left side. And he's going to be stopped. He didn't get it. Indiana's defense stops him. Isaiah Jones makes the stop. DeBoer rolled the dice after both teams called a timeout. And Indiana stops Jeremy Bernard. Indiana is putting the nation on notice. Bernard stuffed by Jones, the extra effort. And they just were the more physical football team on this play. It looked like he was going to be really close, but the Hoosiers make the stop. And Fernando Mendoza and this offense are going to get the football. And Signetti No emotion from Kurt Signetti after the stop. Zero emotion. This dude is crazy. Zero emotion from Kurt Signetti. That's unbelievable. 1st and 10 from the 35. Indiana motions a couple people out. Mendoza takes the snap. Hemby with the protection there. Mendoza escapes. Pressure. Mendoza is going to get out of bounds. A flag is down in the backfield. I think this one's coming back for a hold. So Fernando Mendoza, yeah, it's going to be a holding call in Indiana. They brought in their running back Hemby there. He put into pass block, and it didn't end up working out. It ended up being a hold on Indiana regardless. Right there, it was, I think it's Smith, the left tackle. I think it was Smith, the left tackle, who got a grab of that jersey. They keep showing Kurt Signet on the sideline, and he genuinely just has like the exact same like facial expression for everything. Okay. 1st and 20. Hemby gets the run, right side. Roman Hemby down the sideline. 1st down, Indiana. They ran it on 1st down and 20, probably just trying to get some yards back on the outside zone, and it does not matter there. Alabama didn't stop them, and Hemby's got a big 1st down. Indiana going up tempo at the 23 now. They fake the screen. They run up the middle. There's that RPO. Again, they run a lot of RPOs in this scheme, and up the middle they go. 1st down there. And now 2nd down and medium, I believe. Or no, 2nd down and 2. They only got a couple yards out of that. So Indiana, what a job on that run. Again, Roman Hemby leads this team in rushing yards this season at over 70 yards per game. Second down and 8 from the 21. Mendoza drops back, looking, going left side of the field, and broken up by Alabama. What a job by Jones. The corner, number 7, came in with a great pass breakup. He was going for Elijah Sarrett here. He looked down underneath for Becker, and just a great deflection by Jones, who got in front of Becker and deflected it. 3rd down and 8. $10:55 to go. Indiana trying to get something going here. It's 3rd and 8. They're sending pressure. Mendoza steps up, goes end zone. Oh, what a grab! Touchdown, Indiana! Charlie Becker! Unbelievable! Becker, he has been unstoppable for Indiana. So clutch for them in the second half of the season. And Mendoza floats it out there. The pressure's coming. They send a blitz. He gets it off. Becker's open. And just a great grab. Leaping up in the air to make a really tough grab. Indiana's for real, folks. They are not playing around. Nico Radicic for the PAT. And Indiana leading 10-0 in the Rose Bowl. What a start for this team. Unbelievable, man. Wow, this team, dude. Indiana they're just so physical. And Mendoza, I mean, it's right now Mendoza is just kind of on a by-need pace. It's like on a need basis right now, pretty much. 7 for 8, 76 yards. He's making all the throws that need to be made. That's the thing with Mendoza right now. Becker's made a couple huge grabs in this game already. He's cooking out there. But it's the run game. They've ran the football 12 times. They're not scared of Alabama. They're not scared to attack up front. They're not scared of Alabama's physicality whatsoever. They are running it down their throats. Again, got called for holding on 1st down. What do they do next play? First and 20, they get a 20, 21, 22-yard run on the outside with Embert. I mean, Hemby. It's just like, wow, this team is ridiculous. There's just not much else you can say about Indiana. They're a special team. They're really just these guys know how to play. Know how to play, man. They're so well coached. I mean, Cignetti's got these boys playing elite football right now, and Alabama's in trouble right now. I'm not gonna lie. It's not again. It's very early in the game still. There's so much time. I have no doubt this game will end up being like a classic or a great game. But right now, it's just Indiana looks so much better. Like they got this Alabama offense strapped up. Again, stopping Alabama on fourth down and short, like that's big time. That's big time right there. It's unbelievable. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I don't know. What's Alabama gonna do here? They gotta respond quick. Like I said, DeBoer, that's a play call right there for sure. Putting it on the line, you go for it. You run the little jet sweep with Bernard, and it didn't work out. And gave them good field position, and then Fernando Mendoza doing what Fernando Mendoza do. I got to give a lot again. I want to give a lot of credit to Charlie Becker though, because this could have easily been a drop, right? Like this was a really tough grab going up. Had to go up and get it, and that's just a tough grab. That's so cool. See, there's stories like this that make me root for Indiana. They got Don Fisher up in the Rose Bowl press box, who's been the voice of Indiana football for their radio since 1973. That man has probably seen so many freaking Indiana losses and brutal beatdowns in his lifetime. Getting a chance for a thing like for to call a game like this is what makes this sport so incredible. Indiana stuffs Alabama inside the 15 on the kick return. And here comes Ty Simpson again. The field playing conditions aren't ideal. You can see a lot of very dirty jerseys, but Simpson and the boys are riled up right now. They were down 17-0 in Norman against one of the best defenses in the country on the road, like I just said, and they came back. I know that team is not going to quit on Kalen DeBoer. They're going to fight till the end of this game, but this drive is a big one. They start from their own 14. They're going to need to go 86 yards. Simpson, motion Cuevas inside, and it's going to be a run. No, Simpson play action, left side. Pass is caught. Ryan Williams making his second catch of the day to the 19-yard line. So Alabama, again, this is a program that's never, they've been in a lot of these big games. This is, Kalen DeBoer's second playoff game as their head coach. But this program, there's a standard that's been set with Alabama, and that's to be in these games every single year. And, it's been a couple years since they've been in the playoffs before the Oklahoma game. But Alabama's built for these moments as a program. Second down and 5. Simpson, another play action, rolling out left, going deep down the field. He's got a man, Jeremy Bernard, across the 35. And Alabama's offense is moving now to closer to Indiana territory. Again, started from their own 14. Play action, Simpson rolled out left. Wide open, Jeremy Bernard. Just pitch and catch right there from Simpson to Bernard. Got to get number 5, the football. He is a beast. Haven't seen any of Latsier Brooks yet in this game. Again, had that huge game against Oklahoma. I want to see if he gets the football today. But you got Bernard, you got Horton, you got Williams when he's not dropping everything. I mean, this offense is super talented. Screen pass incomplete right there from Simpson. They tried to set it up. They tried to fake the handoff up the middle and then set a little screen pass to, I think it was set up for Bernard again. Again, they're trying to get this guy the ball in space. This football just, I don't think it was deflected. Simpson just sailed it behind him. Indiana applied that pressure. Second down and 10. 9:25 remaining in the second quarter. Ty Simpson from the 37. Man in motion, Hill, and he gets the football on the inside zone. He's stopped at the line of scrimmage. Indiana's defensive line, despite Stephen Daly being injured, they have had a great day. They're shutting down this Alabama run game, and it was the backup, I believe, who's playing in for Daly who made this stop. Is it Lindano? No. Alabama in a 3rd down and 10 from the 37. Indiana's had the highest sack rate percentage on 3rd down this year. 3rd and 10. 4-man rush. Pressure's coming. Simpson has to step up, and he's going to be taken down at the line of scrimmage. Indiana's defense is dominating. And Simpson right here, it was a stunt from the outside to the inside. And Simpson had a little bit of a rushing lane, but it was plugged up very quickly by Indiana right there. 4th down and 9. Alabama will have to punt again. Jonathan Brady back to return Blake Dude to punt, and things are getting a little antsy in Tuscaloosa. Indiana to return here through the right side, and they get to the 40. And Indiana's in good field position right now, by the way. So things are not slowing down. Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman Trophy winner, with an opportunity to keep the momentum rolling. And this Indiana team showing, again, they have been the more physical football team today. Look at Indiana. What? No, not if you can't protect them. Nope. So Indiana right now, they're just playing flawless football. Signetti hasn't shown an ounce of emotion. Again, they keep showing this dude on the sideline. Not a single ounce of emotion that occurs Signetti right now, which is really funny, obviously. But it's the guy's all business, right? I mean, that's just who he is, and he's just doing what he does, man. If you are listening again, be sure to click the subscribe button. But I mean, just being able to do what he's doing right now with this team and this program, it's incredible. Like, truly, I think that people have tried to say it, but lowest FBS winning percentage of all time. College football. Where's Indiana at? Is Indiana the worst program in college football history? They're definitely up there as one of the worst. Yeah, like Indiana, like they had one of the worst winning percentages in Power 4 football. Hadn't won a bowl game since 1991 before Signetti took over. Genuinely, bro, like it's been really bad for Indiana football. But Kurt Signetti really has just changed everything. He deserves all the credit in the world. But enough Signetti glazing for now. Indiana has the football, and they have good field position off the return. Kalen DeBoer in Alabama. 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. They are struggling. They need their defense to come up big. Fernando Mendoza. And Indiana outgaining Bama 123-51 in terms of yardage from the 43. And Mendoza dropping back. Pressure's picked up, and now he's dropped. Alabama getting aggressive. Yonze Pierre. One of the key players on this Alabama defense, he gets through and makes a big play. And right here, he's coming in off the edge. Wins in the inside, and Fernando Mendoza may have had a crosser there, but again, the pressure just gets through immediately. And it was kind of a little like, yeah, it was kind of a little stunt type of deal in that protection. And Pierre with a huge sack. That's Alabama's third sack of the day. And Indiana's already backed up to the 36. Mendoza, handoff up the middle. Kalen Black across the 40. So they get the yards from the sack back and a little more. And looks like an injury here to Indiana. Running back Black is down right now. This is not a good sign if you're Indiana. They've been running that two-back system all day today with Hemby and Black being banged up here. Now what you want to see, the senior from Virginia Beach. And obviously, again, don't want to see this. What happened here? He's taken down. What happened? Hope Black is all right, of course. I mean, you hate to see that. He's been playing well. He's been running really tough and had a good run there. Again, to get him to, at least a third and like 12 instead of like a third and 20 after the last play. Yeah, he may be, I don't know. I hope he might have a concussion. I don't know, but this is crazy. So while we wait for Black to be attended to and off the field, again, just talking about the college football playoff games that have happened so far. By the way, if you're listening, obviously be sure to click the subscribe button and help out the channel. Um, wow, by the way. I mean, Ohio State was a shocker, right? I mean, it truly was one of the biggest upsets that I seen. I mean, Miami looked so bad offensively against A&M, but it really goes to show that if you're strong in the trenches, you can beat anybody, even with Carson Beck as your quarterback. Miami's offensive line and defensive line outplayed Ohio State's O-line and D-line. Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor were just absolute monsters out there against an Ohio State offensive line that's been really good all season. Jeremiah Smith still was out there doing his thing. Jeremiah Smith still had a phenomenal football game and played great. But Julian Sain was rattled. I feel like Ohio State's run game just didn't get going too much, and on the Miami side, um, they were able to run their dink and dunk quick screen offense and get down the field when they needed to. Beck made a couple good throws when necessary, and that's all it took, right? It was just their defense was just so dominant. It was shocking. I mean, shout out to Mark Fletcher, right? Beck threw for under 140 yards, but Fletcher had 90 yards on the ground. Um, Beck showed a little scrambling ability at times. I mean, the stats aren't crazy, but multiple interceptions. Obviously, the play of the game was that pick six. I mean, it's just poor execution from Ohio State. Jeremiah Smith had a phenomenal game. Again, he finished with, 150, 160 yards? Yeah, 157, one touchdown. He was great, but he missed the block on that screen pass that led to an Ohio State that led to a Miami pick six from Keontae Scott, play of the game there. I mean, Ohio State held Malachi Tony in check, 5 for 16 in the air. Like, they held him in check. They just, again, it was all about that one pick six, and then they just got bullied in the trenches most of the game. It's just how it goes. It's unfortunate. 3rd and 12 for Indiana. Mendoza dropping back, throws over the middle, and it's caught. No, it's incomplete, or was it a fumble? They're going to rule it incomplete at the moment. Alabama thinks that they had a fumble recovery. It looked like Mendoza had thrown an absolute dime down the middle of the field. This is a great throw right in the hands. Jarred loose, though, by Dejon Lee, one of the best cornerbacks, young corners in the nation. He takes a step or two, and then ball is dislodged. 4th down and 12, and they're going to have to punt the football. Again, a great throw by Fernando Mendoza, well protected, but Indiana is not going to get anything out of this drive. McCarthy going to be out to punt the football. What a job by Dejon Lee. Again, one of the best young corners in America. So Adams will fair catch it, and Alabama's defense gets the stop that they needed. They get the football once again. So Indiana didn't do anything there with the good field position, but again, that's just a great throw. They're showing the highlights from last night's game. Again, that Keontae Scott pick 6 was the play of the night. And again, Mesidor and Bain were phenomenal. This morning's game was terrible. Texas Tech versus Oregon, 23-0. It was honestly a pretty close game throughout, but Texas Tech's offense was one of the worst things I've ever seen. So the Fiesta Bowl on January 8th will be Miami versus the winner of tonight's Sugar Bowl between Georgia and Ole Miss. And then the Peach Bowl in Atlanta will be the winner of the Rose Bowl that we're watching right now. 1st and 10 from the 15. Simpson, 4-man rush, checking it down underneath. Nice tackle by the Hoosiers. Cuevas made the catch. Hoosiers went low on him there. And it's going to be a 2nd down and, what is it? 2nd down and what? 2nd down and 5, 6, 4, something like that. They still haven't shown it. 2nd down and 2. Wow, okay. 2nd down and short here for Alabama. Simpson takes the snap, looking left over the middle. It's caught by Hill, the running back. Makes the catch, 1st down, Alabama. 6 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. Still, this game very much up for grabs. Under 6 to play. Simpson in shotgun at the 27-yard line. 1st and 10. Simpson motions Hill behind him. Will it be a straight run? It will be to the left, and Hill gets through. Solid gain there from Daniel Hill. So Alabama trying to get some points before the end of this first half. 2nd down and 5. Empty look for Simpson. Simpson, 5-man rush. He's going to throw down the field. And big hit. It was hauled in by Ryan Williams. A lot of talk about Williams struggling with those hands. He just took a massive blow over the middle of the field, but he secures the catch. He gets through. Ball comes out right there. And again, that's a really nice catch from Ryan Williams to the 46-yard line. Alabama's offense is moving it. They need to get some points. Simpson looking left side. Hill on the flat. Tough tackle by Indiana. They're playing very physical right now. Big-time tackles. Simpson got rid of this football just in time for Williams. Extends the hands out, and then a big hit right there from Pounds, the Indiana star corner, with a great hit here on Ryan Williams, which usually is enough to dislodge the ball from him, but he made that catch. Nice. No catches yet today for Isaiah Horton, which has been surprising. And Ryan Williams, an incredible true freshman season, but he's been held to under 50 yards in 6 straight games. Definitely not what the former 5-star expected this year. 2nd and 7 from the 49. Simpson handing it off up the middle, and Riley is stuffed by Indiana. Again, so physical in the trenches. Ratcliffe that time made the tackle. Again, I've just been extremely impressed with Indiana's physicality today and the way that they've been able to kind of manhandle Alabama in the trenches. We know Alabama's run game struggled, and Indiana just making life difficult. 3rd and 7. Third and 7 from the 49. Under 3.5 to play. This drive's taking some time. Simpson dropping back, looking, has to step up and run. There goes Ty Simpson, makes the cut, and he's going to take a big shot. The ball came out. The ball came out. And Indiana recovers it. Oh my goodness. Indiana looked like Simpson had made a great play to step up and scramble. Everything was going great. And he's right there. I thought he was going to go down, but he gets the ball punched out by Jones. No, it's the hit right there. That hit from Pounds He's a short corner. He's not the tallest guy, maybe like 5'9" or so. But he lays a big hit on Ty Simpson. That ball came out, and Indiana jumps on it. Massive play in the Rose Bowl, and Ty Simpson, that is a killer turnover for Alabama, who had finally started to find a groove offensively. 3:09 to go. Indiana with it at the 42. Very similar field position to their last drive that they started out at. Mendoza handoff left side up the middle. Hemby on the inside run. And 3 minutes to go in the second. Wow, I mean, just unbelievable. This Indiana defense, so good. They've held Alabama scoreless, and an offense that can be so high-powered. Again, what they did to Oklahoma put up a lot of points on one of the best defenses in America. But today, Indiana's defense has stepped up a notch against this offense. 2nd down and 6 from the 46. Simpson turned it over, and he's got to hope that his team can bail him out. Mendoza takes a read option up the middle, gets to about the 49. It's going to be a 3rd down and short probably after the 2-minute warning. The clock's ticking right now. It's probably going to be the 2-minute warning. Oh, man. Just an absolute masterclass from Curt Cignetti and Indiana in the first half. Their defense has been phenomenal. They're super physical. That's the main thing I've noticed about Indiana watching them today is they're just extremely, extremely, extremely physical. Like, those boys will get under your pads and blow you back off the ball. And on defense, they're going to hit as hard as possible and try to make big plays there. That's just Indiana doing with Indiana. They're just such a physical football team, man. I did not expect that from them. I mean, again, I haven't watched as much Indiana football as I should have because these boys are physical. I mean, yeah, it started with that 4th down and 1 that they out physicaled Alabama, and I think Kalen DeBoer is probably gonna lose his freaking mind because it's like I think there's a standard at Alabama like that they have to be the most physical team on the field. Having the weapons, the speed is amazing, and you need that to compete for sure. The athletes, but at the end of the day, you can coach physicality. You can coach just going out there and giving that type of effort, that elite physicality, just going out there and really just getting under people's shoulder pads and moving people. And that's what Indiana's done. They're just playing really, really physical ball out there. That is just how they're getting it done. There's no other explanation for it right now. That's just what Indiana is doing. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It is crazy what they're doing right now. But we'll see, man. Again, we'll see what ends up happening with Indiana. They're in a good spot right now, that's for sure. I mean, again, their defense has been amazing. And hey, you know what? Obviously, all this talk about the first round by this, first round by that, all that talk has been going around, circulating around about yeah, all that, and I think Indiana's done just fine off the bye thus far. They haven't come out slow. They've come out super aggressive and physical and ready to play ball. Well, Alabama looks like crap. And I think this is going to be I definitely think again, it's so tough for I think me and a lot of college football fans to wrap our heads around the fact that Indiana's this legit championship contending program. Will the talent level eventually catch up with them? Well, not if they. I don't know. I don't know. It's just tough to think. It's just really tough to think about at the end of the day. But Indiana's legit, boys. This is a team that's just very, very, very talented. They have a lot of talent for sure. Underrated talent, but at the same time, they're so well coached, disciplined, and physical up front. That's what gets the job done with them. Third down and 3. Mendoza looking. Pressure's coming. He's going to step up. Fernando Mendoza found a lane and picked up a first down. I do not know how Fernando Mendoza managed to get through that and pick up that first down. Genuinely, I'm completely lost right now. I don't know how he did that, but he did. Fernando Mendoza, what a run right here from him to get that first down. Mendoza has enough mobility to make something like that happen. 1st and 10, a minute and a half to go. They're now at the 44. Handoff left side, Hemby gonna get around, and Hemby across the 35 with that run. So Hemby was able to get outside of Alabama there on that. They were trying to contain him inside, and Hemby got around it. This is a big opportunity. If Indiana scores a touchdown, it is a 3-score lead, which is obviously massive. Hemby going to take it up the middle, gets the first down. Indiana has 1 timeout to play with here. Clock is ticking after the first down. 1 minute and 10 to go. Kurt Signetti. I don't know what's going through his head right now. Again, you really can't tell. He looks the exact same all the time. Now he's saying, let's go. Needs a little more urgency from his offense. Did they call a timeout? What happened here? Stop it to 58 seconds. What happened here? Why is there a stoppage? And it wasn't a timeout, I don't think. The refs are discussing everything. Kevin Marr and the Big 12 crew, man. Oh, gosh. This dude was my worst nightmare as a Texas fan. This dude... There's always a lot of buffoonery going on when this guy officiated our games, and I did not like him very much. Usually a lot of it did not go in our favor. So if you guys are listening, be sure to click the subscribe button. 58 seconds to go in the second quarter. And now it's been moved back up to 1:20. And now they're coming back off the field momentarily. What a buzzkill. What are they reviewing? Now they're reviewing something. He definitely got the... I don't know why they, like... The ESPN graphic put up 3rd and 1. I was super confused. He very clearly had a first down. I don't understand how it would be 3rd and 1 here. I don't think I'm crazy. Right there, he's down, and the ball's across the line. Very easily a first down for Alabama, or no, for Indiana. Huh. So they're reviewing the spot. This should not really take that long. I don't think... It's not like it was a close 4th down spot where it's like, oh, there's a bunch of bodies with a huge pile. Like, this is a very clear call. Good. Very quick review there. Overturned, and Indiana will have the football at the 33-yard line with a new set of downs. And 1 timeout still to play. Again, it's been very confusing. This little sequence here. Hope he doesn't slow down Indiana's momentum, right? Fernando Mendoza, again, an incredible season for him. And today has made a couple really nice throws, but it's not like the weight of the whole offense has been put on him, you know? It's really been just here and there. He's had to make some throws. 1st and 10, handoff left side. Hemby explodes up the field, and the officials will mark him out of bounds. 2nd down coming up. Again, Hemby has started to pick up some steam here in this 2nd quarter. Another outside zone. Multiple pulling guards to the left, and then Hemby just was brought down by Bray Hubbard near that sideline, and he went out of bounds. So pretty good stuff right there from Indiana. They're at the 26-yard line. Mendoza has time, looking, check down underneath, pass is caught, 1st down to the 15. That's a great throw by Mendoza, or not a great throw, really just great progressions right here from Fernando Mendoza. It's a 3-man rush, and he just takes the check down to the 15. Mendoza, left side, pass caught. That is, yeah, this is really efficient right here. 50 seconds left. They still have that timeout in their back pocket in case something bad happens. But Cignetti's dialed in. 2nd down, 50 seconds to go. They are in complete control right now of the clock and the situation. So Kalen Black was the one who caught that last pass, so good to see that he's okay after the injury earlier. And then Nowakowski just made that 5-yard reception. 2nd down and 5. Mendoza from the 10. Handoff. Left side. Black. Did he get the 1st down? They're going to mark him across for a 1st down, I believe. And so that means that if they did give him the 1st down, yeah, there you go. Clock momentarily stops. 39 seconds left for Kalen Black in Indiana. And now, not as much urgency here. 35 seconds left. Clock is ticking. But they're at the 5-yard line, and they have a timeout. Got to manage this properly. Mendoza, handoff up the middle. Black fighting his way down. He's going to be just marked a little short. And I think Indiana's probably, because Cignetti is going to burn that timeout with 18 seconds left. So Indiana is officially out of timeouts. 18 seconds to play in this 1st half. And now, I don't think you can run that football. You're going to have to trust Mendoza. Call your best goal line play possible. They ran the football well here. Good, tough, physical run by Black on that run. He got through. Unfortunately for him, wasn't able to get in the end zone. But that's still a really good run. You get closer to that end zone and try to make something happen here. So if you guys are listening, be sure to click the subscribe button. 2nd down and goal coming up for the Hoosiers. Kalen Black was with JMU a couple years ago, and then he transferred over with Curt Cignetti, and him and Hemby have been quite the duo today. They complement each other really well. Both run really hard, physical. Second down and goal. And they just moved the clock back to 21 seconds. Which in college football, and those seconds, just every second really does matter in situations like this. Second down and goal. Indiana trying to make a big play. They're lining up like they're going to go run. It's play action. Mendoza going end zone. Touchdown, Indiana! Omar Cooper Jr. And Indiana with a PAT will go up 3 scores in the Rose Bowl against Alabama, who's about to fall behind 17-0 for the 2nd game in a row. Fernando Mendoza has thrown his 2nd touchdown in the 1st half, and the Hoosiers are very close, are closing in on a possible semifinal run. They are having a tremendous game here in the Rose Bowl, and Curt Cignetti, the story continues. He continues to win. This PAT is really important, though, and it's good. 17-0, 17 seconds remaining. Alabama just out physicaled in the trenches, turning the football over. The Ty Simpson fumble forced by Pounds is a big play in this game right now, as it allowed Indiana to get down the field. And their offense is just a well oiled machine. Truly, Indiana looks incredible right now. Their offense is a well oiled machine. They run the ball well. Their offensive line does a great job protecting Mendoza. Mendoza, by the way, is the best quarterback in college football this year. You got a defense that's playing as good as any defense in the country right now. This Indiana team, I mean, I think people really do have underestimated them going into today against Alabama. SEC versus, a team that's been the bottom of the barrel in the Big Ten for so long. But it's kind of cool to watch the status quo be upended in college football here in the Rose Bowl today. But there is one thing with Alabama. They've been here before. They were here not long ago. They were here down 17-0 against one of the best defenses in the country in Oklahoma, and they came back. So I'm not going to rule out Alabama ever. Now, I don't know what they're going to be able to do with 17 seconds left in this first half. I'm going to be honest. There isn't really much they can do, and yeah, they're just going to kneel this out. But Alabama will get the first possession of the second half, so that is going to be a massive possession in this game. But through one half of football in the Rose Bowl, it's all Hoosiers. They may not be a basketball school anymore. They're looking like a real contender for the national championship. Unreal first half from Indiana. I mean, they're up 3 scores right now. They're playing great. Again, Alabama, though, was here against Oklahoma. They were able to battle back in that football game and win it. Alabama under Kalen DeBoer is 0-6 when trailing at halftime, because they did make that comeback against Oklahoma before the end of the first half, and then they kept the momentum going in the second half. This has been incredible to watch. Indiana really is a special football team. You're just seeing it. They're super physical, and that's what it's been. It's just been that, right? But yeah, it really is. It's been incredible to see Indiana, right? Like they're playing such good football right now. They're looking great. They're doing what they do. It's been impressive. So yeah, I mean, looking at it though, right? Like looking at it right now, right? You got Indiana. They've been doing great. Again, still shocked at the Ohio State outcome from last night. That definitely was crazy. And honestly, this morning I was pretty surprised too. All week it was like, oh, Tech Oregon, it's going to be a 50-50 coin toss type of game. I believed in Oregon to win that football game because I wasn't ever going to pick Texas freaking Tech to win. As a Texas fan, I'm never picking Tech to win a big game like that. Um, and there you go, right? I mean, this Tech is just, doing what Tech do. They went out there. They didn't score a single offensive point. Their offense was cooked. And, well, college football, get ready for Cody Campbell to unleash a lot more money into the market and go for it all again. But yeah, I've just been really. Well, yeah, this is just big time right here. Big time performance from Indiana. Dominant first half. I've been really impressed. And so now it really is just. Wow, I mean, Alabama's going to have to do it again. If they want to win and advance to the semifinal to play Oregon, they'll have to get it done. They'll have to do it again and make another 17-point comeback, which is something that I just don't know if I see happening. But you never know, man. You never know, right? At the end of the day, things could get crazy. It's college football. Anything can happen on any given day. We've seen Alabama. We know they have the talent and the ability, but Indiana is just bullying them, and the lack of a run game has really hurt them. Indiana's run game has been great, and Fernando Mendoza, you look at the first half stat line there, 10 for 12, 93 yards, right? Um, with 2 touchdowns, just efficient. But the largest comebacks in playoff history, there it is. Alabama made the biggest, tied for the biggest playoff comeback with that Oklahoma game not long ago. Then there was that Georgia Rose Bowl against Oklahoma. So Oklahoma has a thing for choking in those big games. It's Oklahoma for a reason, I guess. And Ohio State and Clemson are on there as well. But there you go. I mean, at the end of the day, it's gonna be close. It really is. We'll see what ends up happening. Um, I mean, hey, Alabama's really got to just Alabama really just has to lock in and they got to figure it out. I don't know what they're going to do without a run game though. That's the biggest concern. Like these dudes literally cannot run the football. I don't know what to say about that, but yeah, they just very rare you see an Alabama team get out physical like this. But anyways, I'll be back for the second half. Y'all click the sub button and stay tuned. Second half is underway, about to get underway here in the Rose Bowl. Alabama trailing 17-0. If you guys are listening, be sure to click the subscribe button. It helps out the YouTube channel a lot. It's going to be a fun one here in the second half. Alabama, they've done it once this playoffs already. Can they do it again to reach the semifinals and play Oregon? Or will it be a rematch of an earlier season matchup in the Big Ten? I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be a fun one. I'm ready to watch some football. Here we go. Kickoff is here, and Alabama with a huge drive out of halftime. We'll see what happens. That 4th down and 1 stop by Jones in Indiana was big, and then Fernando Mendoza finding Charlie Becker for the touchdown, and then Ty Simpson fumbling. D'Angelo Pons with, is it Pons? Is it Pons? That was a big play as well. D'Angelo Pounds with a huge knockout or a huge fumble, and that was big. And now Alabama has to make it happen. First play of the half, a screen to Ryan Williams, and he's stuffed in the backfield. Second down and 12. Pons made that big hit, forced the fumble. That was one of the biggest plays of this game. Second down and 12 for Alabama at the 13. Motioning the running back Riley out to the left. Simpson dropping back. Screen pass over the middle. Deflected. Indiana all over everything Alabama's trying to do. Indiana's defense has been elite. Signetti's coached them up well. Bringing up a 3rd down. Huge play in this game. Alabama's got to get going. Got to get something out of halftime. But they just have not been able to find any offensive rhythm. They're 1 for 5 on 3rd down today. What can they do here, though? 3rd and 12. Alabama. Indiana sends 4, trying to run a stunt. Simpson, left side. Cuevas makes the catch, turns upfield, and is taken down. And that's going to have to be a punt for Alabama. A quick 3 and out to open up the second half. A negative play on 1st down, a batted down pass on 2nd down, and then a 4-yard check down on 3rd and long. I mean, Alabama fans right now, I'm seeing a lot of complaining. They're screaming for Simpson to be taken out of the game with the way that he's been playing. Apparently, DeBoer said he's a little banged up. Wouldn't surprise me. So, Alabama, Blake Dude to punt the football. And Indiana sent a lot of pressure. They didn't get there quite in time. And now, here's the return. Indiana tried to return it. Alabama tackles them down inside the 20. So, Indiana's defense continues to be elite. They get the football back in Fernando Mendoza's hand. First down and 10. First and 10. Hemby outside, gets to the edge, and he gets a few yards before being forced out of bounds. Again, Alabama, not the greatest contain in the world, but there you go. Curt Cignetti, there's the history of Cignetti. IUP made the D2 playoffs in his second season. Then he went to Elon and made the FCS playoffs in both seasons. And then he went to James Madison, reached the FCS National Championship in his first season. And now at Indiana, I mean, just incredible work what he's done these first 2 years. He is a half a football away from them playing in the semifinals and a trip to the national championship. Handoff up the middle to Hemby. That is a ridiculous stat that they just pulled up on the screen about how Indiana had like 24 wins, has 24 wins the last 2 seasons combined, and then 23 in the 5 years prior to that. 23 wins in 5 seasons. Indiana was averaging less than 5 wins a season. This turnaround has just been incredible. 3rd and 3. Mendoza to step up. First down. Fernando Mendoza across the 35. Fernando Mendoza. Deontay Lawson right there on the spy. Ends up getting blocked right there in front. He had his eyes in the backfield on Mendoza, but no one was able to get him. And from what I've seen with Fernando Mendoza today, he's not an explosive scrambler, nothing crazy. But what he does do is he has good vision and patience. Handoff left side, Kalen Black across the 40. Again, that was the matchup I was the most interested in seeing today. Was how would Indiana fare in the trenches against Alabama? And right now, they have been dominating. 106 rushing yards to 29 early in the third quarter. That's crazy. Shout out to him, though. 2nd down and 5 from the 41. If you guys are listening, click the subscribe button. Indiana, Mendoza scrambling right side. He breaks outside. Fernando Mendoza goes out of bounds. The ball was punched out. Really nice punch out by Alabama. Goes out of bounds, though. That actually was a great punch out from that angle. But Mendoza showing off the speed. He gets outside of Tim Keenan here. Nice block on the edge from Nowowski. And then, yeah, that was actually a really nice punch out, I think, from Domani Jackson. But Mendoza taking off down the field. And, yeah, this is actually a really good punch out. But it was too close to the sideline. Mendoza with only 93 passing yards. The efficiency has been the thing that he's done well today, though. 1st and 10 from across the 50. Mendoza looking, screen pass out to Omar Cooper. He turns upfield. Cooper lunging to about the Alabama 41. 2nd down and medium shortish here after that one. So, yeah, I mean, you hate to see it, obviously, going at Indiana under Tom Allen in 2021 through 2023, 9-27. They averaged 21 points a game, and they gave up about 32 a game. It's night and day difference between Allen and Cignetti. He's a special coach, man. Generational for real. 2nd down and 4 from the 41. Simpson going to hand it off up the middle. Kalen Black cuts around, picks up the 1st down. Black was banged up earlier in this game. He's come back in. He's looked great. I've been really impressed seeing Kalen Black and the way that he's ran the football. Guy's really physical and really talented. And that's what Herb Street's talking about right now. Is it feels like Alabama just is allowing this to happen. They're getting ran over, and nobody is making a big play. 1st and 10. And this one is to Hemby. He's taken down, but it's just like you expect Alabama with all their talent to impose their will on Indiana. And it just hasn't happened at all today. So Hemby, I mean, he's had good running lanes to go through, and he's made some big plays in this game. I mean, it truly is shocking to see an Alabama team that we're so accustomed to from the Saban era. We're so accustomed to the physical, tough, wear you down Alabama, and that's not what we're seeing. And I think Kalen DeBoer is a good coach, but I think he's got to instill some sort of fire in his guys here. 2nd and 8. Mendoza looking, has time. Now going to step up and scramble. Fernando Mendoza tripped up just short of the 1st down marker. So Mendoza just done a good job today avoiding pressure and making these types of plays in big moments. Mendoza right here. I mean, again, it's a three-man rush. An Alabama player was already put on the ground right there on his rush. Pancake block in the middle. And Indiana, they've ran the football 8 times this drive. 8 out of 9 plays, they've ran it. Mendoza only one passing attempt. It was to Cooper, I believe. 3rd and 1. Mendoza stepping back, throwing, confident strike to the end zone. Touchdown, Indiana! Elijah Sarrett, touchdown! Hoosiers dominating in Pasadena. And Alabama fans are completely stunned. 10 plays, 79 yards. Fernando Mendoza, Heisman for a reason. Unbelievable Alabama, how they've played in this football game. And Kalen DeBoer's got that look on his face like, oh my goodness. It is officially a full 3-score game. Unbelievable, dude. This team is ridiculous. Fernando Mendoza is just a dog. Look at this throw. Perfect ball. Back corner of the end zone. Elijah Sarrett goes up and makes a great catch. Reels it in. And Alabama, they are in a lot of trouble. Yeah, this is I thought this was gonna be a good game, man. And this just has not been at all. At all. It's just man. That's just crazy. Oh wow. Yeah, I can't believe that actually just happened though. Like it really still is hard for me to imagine this. But yeah, Indiana's incredible. This team is this team. I mean, they're great. Alabama again. They're just wow. Yeah, Alabama's down 24-0 right now. This would be the biggest. They would now officially have to make the biggest comeback in CFB history. Just getting out physical. I've said it a lot. I think everybody's noticed it that has eyeballs and is watching this game. Out physical from the jump. Indiana has imposed their will, and they're talented, man. What can you say about them? It'd be like that sometimes. So I don't know. We'll see. I wonder if they'll ever consider making a QB change at some point. But right now, Indiana fans, this is this. I love it for them. I love it for fans like Indiana fans who have struggled a long time. They haven't seen a lot of good football in their lives, and they're getting a big moment, a special moment in the Rose Bowl. This is awesome. This is great. Love to see a school like Indiana doing it right. And Oh my goodness. Here it is. Austin Mack is in the game. Ty Simpson has been benched. I mean you might as well, right? You got to. Obviously, this is not the ending of the season Alabama wanted, and for Ty Simpson, so this is going to be really interesting. They've officially benched Ty Simpson. Kalen DeBoer has seen enough. They're going to the kid he brought from Washington, Austin Mack, the kid DeBoer brought over. And so now this will be interesting to see what happens. I mean, again, they're calling on, they're going for a last ditch effort here. Look, your season's on the line. You need something to go your way. Ty Simpson, his Alabama career is over now, pretty much. Well, apparently the coach's decision is more because of Simpson's injury. Again, he's been dealing. I feel like he's been dealing with some injuries, and you know what? He took a big shot to the back where I think he's been dealing with something, and now he's had a lot of uncomfortable stuff throwing the ball, no time throwing the football. So you know what? And he looked really. He went over and supported his guy. That's a good teammate, man. Ty Simpson's a good dude. First and 10 from the 25. We'll see what Matt can do. Four-man rush. He goes check down underneath to the running back. That is, I think that's Jam Miller who made that reception out of the backfield. So that is, again, crazy. Austin Mack, 6'6", 236. He's only thrown 16 passes this entire season. He has 3 passing and rushing touchdowns combined. So Ty Simpson out for the game most likely again. The injury just combined with poor play. I think it is probably mostly due to that injury, though. Obviously, the offense hasn't been good, but I mean, the guy's dealing with something. So, second down at 9. Indiana showing the blitz. And here we go. Mack looking to scramble now. And Austin Mack got a first down for Alabama. Took a shove there on the sideline near the 40. So, there's Austin Mack showing off the wheels, already doing more than Ty Simpson in that respect. This is a big moment for Austin Mack. 6:40 to go. There's not much time left. There's still time left, but time is starting to tick down on Alabama. Mack from the 39, and he'll hand it off up the middle to Hill. So if Alabama's season ends today, they don't make the comeback, most likely. You got to reevaluate a few things as an Alabama program. Definitely, going into DeBoer's third year next year, they're gonna have to really figure out this running game situation. They gotta get it going, right? They gotta figure out how to run the football better. They had no run game this year. 2nd down and 8 from the 41. Indiana has a lot of guys in the box. They back them off. Now they got 6 in the box. Where's the pressure coming from? Mack looking, stepping into the throw. Down the sideline, complete. Jeremy Bernard makes the catch. Great job there by Mack. Confident strike down the sideline. And again, if you let him more in stride, it could have been a touchdown potentially. Kind of let him a little too much towards the sideline, which forced Bernard to have to toe tap in bounds for a little while. But regardless, still a good throw, good play, and now Alabama on the move for what seems like the first time all day. It's been a long time since they've been driving. 1st and 10, and that is costly. They have to burn a timeout. Which could be costly later in the game. They have to burn their first time out here of the half, which is not ideal. But they do burn it right there. So now they're moving it. So here we go. Alabama with a good drive going right now. Need a touchdown. This is a big game moment right here. They're at the 25. They had to burn their first time out of the half. Austin Mack motioning Cuevas inside. And Mack looking down the field. He's going to step up, throwing on the run. And a great throw to Cuevas. First and goal. Williams motioning. And it's Mack, well protected. Gonna look to scramble. He's gonna run Austin Mack to the 5-yard line. Yeah, this is a guy, again, it's a tough decision always as a head coach to go make that decision. Or maybe Simpson pulled himself out. I don't really know. But regardless, it's tough, right? Like, Simpson's gotten you here. All season long, you've rode Ty Simpson, right? He's been your guy, your ride or die quarterback. And in a game like this, you want to stick with him. But at the end of the day, a combination of being banged up and playing like crap, it's just, you're not going to get it done. Indiana has one of the best red zone defenses in college football. Only have allowed 6 touchdowns. Mack, second and goal, pressure. He checks it down. Oh, that is not good. That was way behind Daniel Hill, who caught the football and ended up losing 4 yards. Third down and goal. So now Alabama, again, a field goal really just does nothing for you here. Third and goal. Three minutes to go in the third quarter. Alabama trails by 24. They need a touchdown. Austin Mack from the 10-yard line. Motions Hill to the left. And now Bernard across the formation. Mack takes the snap. Pressure comes. Max fires. Incomplete. A big hit there against Lutzier Brooks. And now Austin Mack and Alabama will have a 4th down and goal. A lot of dirty jerseys here today in the Rose Bowl with the field conditions, with all the rain. And this is a huge hit. Kind of, ooh. Wow, that was a little after the play. Big hit there to the back. But again, Indiana's so physical. And Alabama's going to try out their kicker, Connor Talty. So I guess they're going to just try not to get shut out here. I don't really know much of what a field goal does other than making it just a 3-touchdown game instead of 3 touchdowns and 2-point conversions. Talty's kick is right straight through the uprights. And Alabama is on the board for the first time in the game today. So now they'll have to try to stop Indiana. Mack looked good that drive for sure. I really did think. I think he looked really, really poised, really good. Made some nice throws, had some good step ups. But at the end of the day, they couldn't get in the end zone. First and 10. Handoff up the middle, and there's some resistance from Alabama's defensive line. Stopping Keelan Black at the line of scrimmage. So, all it takes is a little belief, right? These guys have to believe they have a chance to win this game. And they'll do it. You know what I mean? A little belief in this team can go a really long way. Guys will start playing better. Momentum. All it takes is one stop here. Get the ball back and things start getting going. Handoff left side. Black tried to spin out of a tackle. He gets a couple yards. Third down coming up. I feel like Indiana hasn't really been in too many third downs today. And they've done a great job staying ahead of the sticks because of their strong ground game. On 3rd and 8, here we go. Third and 8, Mendoza, pressure. He's going to throw left side, pass, caught, and a first down for Indiana. Down the sideline. Nowakowski, first down, and Alabama just cannot get off the field on 3rd down. Fernando Mendoza doing what he do. First and 10, handoff up the middle, and Black nearly broke free, but he gets a big gain. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. Alabama trailing 24-3. What a game for Indiana. They're up big and with the football going into the 4th quarter on a great drive. Kirby Smart, 5-2 record in the college football playoff. His only losses being to Notre Dame last year and Alabama in the national championship. Aside from that, it's been a lot of success. The Sugar Bowl is going to be really exciting. Ole Miss had the lead for most of that game, but Georgia overcame a 9-point deficit in the fourth quarter, ended up beating Ole Miss by 8. It's been the Georgia way. I've been looking forward to that game for a while. Trinidad Chambliss and Ole Miss without Lane Kiffin. Up the middle, stopped by Alabama. So I think Indiana, they're just going to keep doing what they do, control the clock, keep running the football the way they're running the football. And again, Fernando Mendoza, like the stats aren't going to be crazy, but 3 touchdowns, no picks. It's just been efficient. He's been good. He's made the throws they needed. And when your ground game has been as good as they've imposed their will all over Alabama today. It's been incredible. Second down and 8 from the 25. Simpson, Mendoza, handoff, left side, Black breaking free, and it's a touchdown! It's a rout in the Rose Bowl. Black goes all the way, and Indiana is in full control. That'll pretty much do it at this point. Alabama, good night. It's Indiana's time under Curt Cignetti. They are about to do it. Unbelievable. And yeah, Black just found a crease. Again, why pass the football? Why risk anything when you can just run the ball the way that they have all day? Unreal work by Indiana. I got to give them that. They've been incredible. 31-3. Hoosiers lead. Who would have ever expected this in college football? I mean, Indiana has just been so impressive, and yeah, I mean, it's wow. It's really hard. It's really hard to bring a program up like that. But yeah, it's just been. I mean, I've been. Like I said, I don't know how. I've just been so impressed by like Curt Cignetti and these dudes. It's been incredible. I mean, the way that they play out there, they're super physical. And Cignetti's elite with his talent, he vows. I mean, this is a team that's mainly built off the transfer portal. Cignetti just knows talent when he sees it, and he's able to combine all together. I'm going to be honest, I was in the crowd last year. I streamed Indiana's first playoff game last year when they got, destroyed by Notre Dame in South Bend. And I thought, okay, Indiana had a good year. Curtis Rourke's gone. They'll probably just regress back to, some sort of mean in between where they'll just, they'll be all right. They'll be a solid Big Ten team. They won't be anything special. And here we are a year later, over a year later since that game, and Indiana is about to be 14-0 with a win over Alabama in the Rose Bowl. They are not going anywhere under Cignetti. Again, what's their schedule looking like next year? Indiana football schedule 2026. Playing the portal game is dangerous, but at the end of the day, Cignetti. What's their 2026 schedule looking like? They got Ohio State next year. Yeah, Indiana's looking at this schedule. Okay, so they do play a couple really solid teams. Obviously, Ohio State's going to be always a fun game. They didn't play them this year until the Big Ten championship. They got them the regular season next year. USC, Michigan, you know, some big brands there, some big schools. But honestly, at this point, I got Indiana's probably going to destroy Michigan. All right. This has got to be such a surreal moment for Indiana fans, though. I mean, they have sucked there for decades, and now it's just like, wow, this is insane. 179 rushing yards to 48. That is a staggering difference, and it is pretty much ball game time. Max just got to air it out at this point and enjoy the reps. He's going to scramble out to the right, throw it out of bounds. This game's over, boys. This game is just might as well start previewing Trinidad Chambliss and Ole Miss versus Georgia and Gunnar Stockton again. Kirby Smart versus Pete Golding. Defensive minded head coaches with explosive offenses, but Lane Kiffin was the mastermind behind a lot of that, did a lot of the work. Signetti still doesn't look like satisfied at all, bro. He still looks like he's got the same look on his face of like, ugh, he's kind of mad. Second and 10 from the 25. Mack drops back. Deep drop. Pressure comes, and Mack is slammed to the ground. It just continues to pile on in the Rose Bowl. Indiana has dominated Alabama for 4 quarters. Inside stunt here, up the middle. Mack had nowhere to go with the football anyway. And then the pressure comes, and he just had to eat this sack. Third down and 20 for Alabama at the 15. Austin Mack looks right side, deep ball, and out of bounds. Where was his intended target on that one? I really don't know. Alabama, this is getting ridiculous. I wonder what's going through Alabama fans' heads right now about Kalen DeBoer. Like, I'm thinking, like, okay, like, DeBoer's a good coach. At the end of the day, like, there's no doubt in my mind that Kalen DeBoer is a really good coach. Fourth and 20, they will punt it away. And this one's going to bounce inside the 40. Just unbelievable. Kurt Signetti doing what he do right now. Indiana's, man. Yeah, this might be like the greatest rebuild in college football history. So what we see, and I don't know if it'll matter because I feel like the playoffs going to expand in this next format anyway. But I feel like Kurt Signetti just proved that the whole bye week stuff, like he's proved, this is proof that like okay, the bye week, if you prepare for it properly and adequately, you'll be fine, right? Like you'll be good to go. You'll get a dub and you'll be just fine. Kurt Signetti has shown that his team has come out today super well prepared for this matchup, and Alabama, who played recently, bodied, destroyed. Man, it's yikes. They are Indiana again. Very good talent evaluation. 1st and 10, handoff Hemby. He's taken down in the backfield. And again, it's Kurt Signetti's boys, his little band. They call him. I don't know why they call him that, bro. Band of misfits or whatever. Like, bro, they're tough. They're very good at football. 2nd and 12, handoff to Hemby. Third and 8. Mendoza rolling out, going deep, and he's got Omar Cooper. First and 10. Cooper, the leading receiver on this team. Hemby up the middle. Yeah, this is just crazy. They just have ran through Alabama today. It's been super impressive. I can't believe what I've watched. This game's been a total butt kicking from start to finish from Indiana. 2nd down and 5. Handoff up the middle. And a first down, Hemby. Touchdown, Indiana. The route continues in the Rose Bowl. This has gotten out of hand. There's no point even streaming this. I might as well just get ready for Georgia Ole Miss. Well, unbelievable Indiana. Roman Emby goes all the way. Kalen DeBoer and Kane Womack can just stand there on the sideline completely stunned at what has transpired in this game. This is just, wow. Indiana, Oregon in the second round will be very interesting. 5 different Hoosiers have scored. Indiana leads 38-3. Flawless execution from the Hoosiers. They will be moving on to the Fiesta Bowl or the Peach Bowl soon enough.